Okay.
We had to.
Yeah.
We had to. Knowing the platforms we're on, they dig that type of stuff.
Yeah, we got to mix up the intros a little bit.
You know how it be. We gotta keep you guys entertained.
Yeah, keep it interesting. Keep you guys on your toes.
Yeah. Well, welcome to week 7.
Week 7.
Back after the taper week and into a little bit higher mileage. I think we hit total 37.5 miles this week.
Yeah, we're right back into it.
Yeah, but before we get into all that stuff, let's go over to our sponsors first.
Let's talk about the sponsors.
Yeah, well, first off, let me show you a couple of the cool merch that I currently own by GRÂCE. Thank you, Spencer Panis. If you want to go give him a follow on Instagram at spencer.panis, as well as GRÂCE in the description. I'm wearing the super comfy sweatshirt that keeps me warm on these cold winter days. It's amazing. As well as the floral GMP sweatpants with it kind of tapers down at the bottom. Super comfy, super fashionable. I love wearing it around the house, but I can also fashion it up a little bit to go out if I want to.
Yeah. GRÂCE.
GRÂCE.
And our second sponsor, or beekeeper, we got a little some today. These are the Honey Porch dipsticks. Yeah, check that out. It's a nice little stick of honey. Yeah. I had one of these for the first time today. Absolutely delicious.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're really tasty. So we just want to say thank you to Or Beekeeper for being a partner with us, walking alongside us. And lastly, but still very importantly,
Extremely.
Ivory Creek. And we got to talk about these guys a week or two ago, but good friends, Colin and Olivia Herzberg, doing their thing with photography. And like we talked about, if you ever need portraits, senior photos, couple photos, engagement photos, wedding photos, these are the people to see, right? They do an incredible job and are just amazing people as well. We love them, and did the project with Ivory Creek with the video, which should be coming out soon. So stay tuned for that. We didn't forget about it. It's still in the works. Still in
the projects, but we're inching closer and closer, and I'm super excited. Logan just showed me kind of the audio that we're gonna put behind it, and you guys are gonna love it. It's pretty cool. We're showing off GMP in it. I'll just give that out there, just kind of a little sneak peek. But yeah, no, we're super pumped and excited for this coming video. I think it'll be good.
So another huge thank you to Ivory Creek and for the rest of our sponsors. Thank you guys. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, your guys' contribution and support goes a long way, and we love partnering up with local small businesses with that same mindset of just doing one more. And so hopefully we'll continue to keep using these products and flashing this gear, and hopefully you guys can be a part of that too. So
absolutely.
But let's jump into week 7.
And before we get really into it, I just want to say that we've kind of explained this before, but we're just average guys doing a normal 9 to 5 type schedule. And so some of the videos have not been as frequent, as consistent as, let's say, once a week. And so we do apologize about that. We got a lot going on. Life is going on. And so sometimes they don't come out every single week on the dot, but thank you for those that still are sticking around, watching, listening to us. We do appreciate it. We do appreciate it a lot. And that's why we want to keep working hard to give a good video and a good podcast and put it out into the world, because there's some people that have showed interest. So thank you guys.
No, I think that's really good to point out the appreciation and just sticking in there with us. Life happens, and we can choose 2 different ways. We can bounce back from it better, or we can just call it quits. And we continue to just keep coming back better and better, and we'll continue to do so until the end of this journey. Week 7. Did you pull up
just go into
Strava? But ultimately this week, a lot of 4-mile runs with a 5.5, and then right into our long run for the week, which was 18 miles. My 18-mile run was pretty good. I think I averaged 8:54 pace. I was in my new running shoes that I transitioned over from. I was recently in the Brooks Ghost 15s, and then I hit my kind of mileage threshold for those shoes with the soles, and so I transitioned over to the Hoka Clifton 9s. I heard a lot of great things. I got a lot of recommendations, especially from one of my buddies who does marathons all year round, and he highly recommended the Hoka 9 as a very good everyday trainer. So went along with that, and that was actually my first run in those shoes, being the 18 miles. So I was a little nervous, but ultimately launched me into pretty good pace of 8:54 for the whole run. Intra-nutrition was great, no gut rot, and I think we're just continuing to increase more and more closer to that 26er.
Yeah. So the shoes didn't feel stiff or anything?
They felt like I was running on a cloud for like the first mile, and then I think they finally settled in to like how the shoe should feel. But no, they didn't feel like concrete or stiff or anything. They melded to my foot really good. Maybe a little skinny in the midfoot, but again, good shoe overall.
Yeah. Speaking of mileage and like wear and tear, Strava does something cool that I didn't know about until we started training and I got like an actual pair of running shoes. You can put in to Strava the pair of shoes that you have and then give it kind of a limit of how many miles that you want to put into those shoes. And then it will give you a reminder once you hit that mileage, just as a, hey, you've put in tons of wear and tear in these and it might be a good time to switch shoes up. So
yeah,
I think you gave me a baseline of like 300 miles to put on the shoes. I'm sure, you can find other estimates or mileage for other shoes.
Yeah.
But that seemed like a pretty good baseline. And I haven't gotten there yet, but I thought that was a cool feature.
Yeah, no, that is a cool feature. I think another thing Strava does that's really cool is you can put all the other gear that you use on it as well. So I can put what type of watch I wear on my run. So it would say Garmin Forerunner 45 is the watch I used. And it's kind of fun to see all the friends that you have on Strava and kind of what all of their gear that they use and not matching up. But it's fun to see that there's so much diversity in the running community where not going to be two people with the same exact getup. Me and you, like completely different shoes, completely different watches, but same amount of miles, same pace, same distance. It's different but the same. Same but different.
Same but different. So you said you were rocking the Brooks and now the Hokas?
Now the Hokas, yeah.
Now the Hokas, and then you use a Garmin watch.
Yep. And I mean, I didn't break the bank really with either of them. I got my watch secondhand. I was being kind of conscious with it. Didn't really want to buy a new one. I didn't have any purpose for a brand new one. I just wanted to use it for running and heart rate, and that was kind of it. So went up on OfferUp and found the Forerunner 45 for $100. Picked it up on the way to a location where I was picking someone else up. It was like on the way.
There you go.
Great. And it's been very cost effective so far. It's been giving me stats on every run. It gives me, I used to wear a Whoop, and that's what I trained with my half Ironman.
Gotcha.
But it gives me like a strain type of reading as to how it calculates based off like my heart rate, mileage, time, and how much strain that puts on my body and how much time I need to rest.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, it does that kind of feature too. But with my Brook Ghost 15s, those were $99 at Dick's.
Gotcha.
So
kind of balling on a budget.
Yeah, my whole getup plus like the running vest, which was like what, $20?
Yeah, 20, 30.
$220 to train. Yeah. Really. And you can even budget even smaller than that. If you want to just do the Strava on your phone and just run with your phone.
Which is what I did for a few months, several months.
Yeah. That cuts out the watch entirely. Yeah. And if you want, obviously I don't recommend getting shoes secondhand because you don't know how many miles have been walked or ran in them, but also a lot of wear and tear with those. That would be the one thing I would break the bank for is quality shoes. Yeah. Because that is hitting the ground consistently throughout every single run, no matter what. Yeah. And so you want to have the most comfortable fitting shoes that fit to your foot. Maybe someone gives you 10 recommendations, but maybe that's based off their own foot size. Yeah. If they have a wider foot or a more narrow foot, or if they have a high arch, low arch, all of those things go into consideration. So maybe even go into a local running store where they can do kind of a foot diagnostic for you just to see like, oh, I have a high arch and a narrow foot, and maybe XYZ is the right shoe for you.
Yeah.
So taking those extra steps to eliminate any type of injuries, any limitations on your running training is highly recommended.
Yeah, I think the shoes are one of the things that I kind of splurged on. I tried to do as much research online as I could to figure out what would be a good kind of everyday or putting miles in. And I ended up with the endorphin shifts. And so that's what I've been running with thus far. And have enjoyed them. I think it's like a lot of the other things we've talked about. I haven't really had a true pair of running shoes before this, so I can't really stack them up against anything. But they've worked well for me. And then I've actually used Jacob's old Apple Watch since he got the Garmin watch. But I'm sure you could find something like that secondhand for, I don't know, under 100.
Oh, yeah. I'd say like anything between the 50 to 100 range on a smartwatch that's able to do heart rate, as well as have like an in-app device like a Strava or like a Garmin Connect or any type of running app. I know people use the Under Armour Map My Run too as another way to do the runs. Anything like that, if your device can hold those apps, I'd say that's a win off the bat.
Yeah. And that one's been cool. Heart rate, like you said, pace, distance. And then one of the things that we played with for the last couple of weeks is trying to set boundaries of our pace. So like if we're going too fast, it'll give you a notification or like a little buzz. And same thing with too slow. Still kind of figuring out what that looks like for our respective watches, but just playing around with stuff like that.
Yeah. With that, transitioning back to kind of Strava and our long run. Yeah, those Cliftons, they felt great. I did feel a little bit of foot soreness after. Obviously, running 18 miles, your feet are going to be a little sore. But they're a little extra sore, I think, just because of the new shoe type of feel. But overall, my 18 was, I'd say, overall good.
Pretty uneventful.
Yeah. How was yours?
Mine was a little more eventful just because I wasn't in town. I was actually out of town on a hunting trip with my dad and my brothers. So it was kind of this toss-up of, should I do my run while I'm in Eastern Oregon in the middle of nowhere hunting, or do I do it when I come back? And I kind of wanted to stay on schedule with the different runs that we had planned and stay on top of that. So I decided to do my run while I was out there. It was pretty brutal. If I just take a look at this, 18 miles, I ended up doing like a 950 pace, and I did 1,100 feet of elevation gain.
Jeez.
It was probably 75 degrees out there, just like all completely open.
Which is very different than our 40-degree runs.
Yes.
What the body has to go through from 70 degrees versus 40 degrees.
It was a big transition.
Yeah.
And it was out there just on a lone highway with huge rolling hills that would, climb for quarter to half to a full mile and then descend, but no shade. And so honestly, the first 9 miles, I was going down and then I was going to come back. It didn't feel too bad, but then coming back, I started hitting those uphills and the heat just got to me, and I kind of just had to take that humble pill, stop. I felt like I was going to pass out, but kind of tried to rehydrate. Luckily, my brothers and my dad came in the truck and like dropped off some water and some stuff for me. So that was a huge help, but I kind of know now what Jacob has talked to me about a little bit about the pain cave that he described when he talks about the half Ironman that he did last summer. And I felt like I got a little taste of it at the end of that run, just coming down this gravel road. Yeah. Just feeling completely exhausted, like I had expended all energy that I had. I think those last 3 miles were just a huge mental game. So the body was super exhausted after that one, but it felt really mentally empowering to like grind that one out and get it finished, because there were a bunch of times where I just wanted to like stop or just like call it for good. So
yeah, no, I applaud you to getting that run done. I know how easy it could be to just say, hey, stop. Dad, brother, come pick me up. I mean, them dropping you off supplies. It's a real teaser to be like, oh man, I could just jump in that truck and just
with the AC going
Yep. So no, man. I mean, you put in the miles for the week, you finished it, ended the week on a good note. So that's good. That mental fortitude goes a long way.
Yeah. And in terms of gear, something that I've come to realize that the company that I work for actually provides what they call a lifestyle balance or a lifestyle account. And so they provide their employees a certain amount of money that they can use for different like health and wellness applications. So if you want to use it for like a gym membership or exercise equipment, exercise clothing, etc., that kind of stuff. And so cool. One of the cool things about trying to do this and, not break the bank is that I've been able to tap into that a little bit and, get my shoes through it, get some of the nutrition that we've got through it. And it's been a huge help. So I think that's worth noting, check and see if you're working for someone that might offer something like that, because it could be a good opportunity to expense some of the gear that you might need.
Yeah. And I think another cool thing about having like an account like that at my job, what you can do is you set up like an account with HR and you just have to download this app and track your activity for like 40 days straight. And after you do the 40 days, my company sends me a $750 like voucher to like a flexible spending account that I can use for medical bills, any type of PT rehab if I need to go do that, or anything medical expenses wise if I need to pick up a prescription. So being active and doing this, although you might have to break the bank a little bit, maybe your company offers something where you actually save a little bit in the long run with something like that.
Worth checking out.
Yeah.
As always, we tried to document the process of our long runs for you. Even though we're separate, we still tried to get some clips for it, get some content so that we could show a little bit of what that process was like. So we'll toss those up here right now.
Video going ahead?
Yeah. Just finishing 3 miles with the brother. Knocking it out, Eastern Oregon.
Light work, baby.
Pounding sun. Getting a good sweat on.
Nice breeze rolling through, keeping us cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'll check in another 3 miles. Nothing but long, straight, and flat, man. 6 miles down. Just by myself right now on this long, sunny, lonely road. About to take my second goo. I'll check in soon. 9 miles down, officially halfway. Turning back around, second half. Let's finish it. Doing all right?
Nice cold half.
Yes, sir. Just hit 12 miles. My brothers and my dad dropped off this hat for me, soaked it down for me, gave me a little motivation to keep going. But man, I just hit a huge uphill and I had to take a humble pill and stop for a minute. Elevation and heat and just dryness out here was killing me. But took my goo at 12 miles, hydrated up a little bit, now back at it. Want to finish strong.
All right. 12 miles in, still staying below the sub 4 marathon pace, sticking around like 8:52, 8:53, but still foggy here. 2/3 down, 1/3 to go, 6 more miles. Got 6 miles down, averaging 8:59 pace, doing good on nutrition and water. Let's keep pushing it. Hill climb. All right, well, thank you so much for watching the videos and getting to watch as we went along that run. As you can tell, it was tough for both of us in certain spots. So, But thanks again for tuning in this week. We hope that you come back to us next week, where we come back with more miles, more smiles. And
I like that.
More miles, more smiles, and
more miles, more smiles,
more stories to tell along the way.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, I just hit my step goal for the day. There we go.
Not even walking around.
Yeah. Love you, Garmin.
Well, thanks for sticking around for those that have made it this far. we're excited to see you next week.
Yep. Check out our sponsors, and we'll see you on week 8.
Week 8.
Peace.
Peace.